can't see anyone but City winning at the moment, other than Liverpool. Any other team, it's not going to happen, I don't think.
Because Jesus, how many chances does he need to score one goal? Whereas Alvarez just seems clinical. This calendar year, Chelsea are the third worst team in the Premiership. Saka is a game changer, but he's not on the same level as Haaland,
not yet,
KDB or Salah. Since Saka's dyed his hair, Arsenal haven't won a game.
Damn. Ooh, that's a stat, you know.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time you're listening, welcome to another episode of Podcast Pundits. I am your host today, De La Strada. Guys, this is the first podcast of the year, so to all our listeners, old and new, Happy New Year. Giving you season's greetings, and hopefully, you achieve what you need to achieve this year. As usual, you can find us on all major platforms. Just type in Podcast Pundits. And I think that's all I need to do for housekeeping. By now, you should know where to find us. Now, let me go around the room and introduce the panel. Starting from my right, Dre Man.
Yeah, it's Dre back. Not happy to be back, but I'm happy to see my boys. So happy to be on the pod. Not happy to be a Man United fan at the moment, but we keep it moving.
Joey.
It's your boy Joey Nomadic, Liverpool #1 supporter, humble as always. Happy New Year, everybody, and I love you all.
And last but not least, we have a special guest, John.
Not special anymore, man.
Okay, your guest. Yeah,
John Boy back again. Was here last week, back again this week to represent Arsenal.
Yeah,
You're saying covering the cowards, yeah?
I won't call them cowards, bro, but definitely not the champion that they need to be.
Cool. Let's start the podcast. It'll come when it comes.
Okay.
I knew this was what
Hey, listen, don't tell me it's a loan shark, bro. I'll have to break no votes to get what's right.
Della, introduce yourself, man. What teams do you represent?
Have I not introduced myself?
Yeah, that's true. Where are you at today?
I'm just a football fan, man. What do you want from me?
Well, I'm collecting my debts, bro.
Yeah.
I'm only collecting my debts from
I'm a
one team.
Lannister. I always pay my debts. So when it comes, it comes.
No, that's fake, bro. Because last time, you was adamant that it came literally as the pod started. You were like,
Personally, I think you're showing a lack of character here.
I can do it now. It doesn't matter, but it doesn't flow.
Here we go.
It doesn't flow.
Okay,
I was going to do it when I introduce the segment.
Here we go.
Okay.
I better be satisfied.
Yeah, let's start off. Let's just quickly run off some of the games. Starting off with the City versus Sheffield United. So City, the win takes them third. I think it's third? Yeah, third. Now they're just 5 points behind Liverpool, and
with a game in hand.
With a game in hand, actually,
And 2 points behind Villa, right?
Yeah. And second half of the season is when City usually tend to raise their game, and they got no players going to the Abscond, no players going to the Asian Cup, and they got KDB back from injury. So
That's crazy, man.
do we expect City to now go on their normal run and say, you know what, we gave you guys a chance and you guys couldn't take it, so now what are we doing? Who wants to speak?
Go on, your boy, go on.
I think I said last week, I'm not going to expect them to go on a crazy because obviously they've had a mixed bag of results this season. We say mixed bag, 4 draws and 3 losses, 12 wins. But they definitely gave everybody a chance to say, run away with it, and no one's taken that chance. So to still be in the mix with the run of form that they've had, bearing in mind that they've had no KDB and no Haaland for a bit of time as well. But I can't see anyone but City winning at the moment, other than Liverpool. Any other team, it's not going to happen, I don't think. But yeah, I expect them to go on, especially that, as you said, no players going to Afcon, no teams going to Asian Cup.
Nope.
That's by design, of course.
Oh yeah, of course.
And yeah, but they're going to hit it. They should hit the ground now, running to the rest of the season.
And they picked up another trophy as well.
Yeah, what was it?
So
Five trophies.
Yeah, World Club Champions, whatever it is.
Why did they get 5? What was the 5th one? I heard people saying
Premier League, Champions League, UEFA Super Cup.
FA Cup.
Super Cup. Okay.
Yeah, they got the FA Cup.
Yeah, I think
FA Cup and Club World Cup.
It was the Super Cup I wasn't thinking of. All right, cool. Fine.
Yeah. So obviously, I'm assuming Joey and Dre, you feel the same that City are now going to.
Yeah, they should push on as usual now. Business as usual.
Sorry, just a point as well. I think there are only two they've only got 2 points less than they had this time last season.
Yeah.
2 points less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think other ones is Liverpool are plus 13 and Arsenal are minus 10.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, and also I think they've gone the whole of 2023 unbeaten at home.
Who's City?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of that win, let's just go through some key performance. So let's start off with Rodri, and it seems that with when he plays, they don't lose.
What was the
don't
game?
lose.
He gave the ball away the other game, like 2 weeks ago.
Wherever he gave the ball, did they lose?
Did they lose?
I think they conceded,
drew.
but I don't think they lost.
I think they drew, innit?
I don't know. What game are you talking about?
Who did they play, man?
Was it before they went on the...
Probably.
On their jaw.
I can't remember. But I remember he gave the ball away.
Yeah.
No, it was against Everton. I think it was Everton. They put pressure on him.
It was-
Yeah, but
they won. They won
3-1,
3-1.
innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was looking shaky.
He
at the
was.
time. Yeah,
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, they don't lose without
They
him.
don't lose. No.
Nah, exactly.
So as well as his defensive masterclass, he's obviously he's sort of adding goals here. I think he scored a Champions League goal as well.
I think they said he
The
got
winner.
4 this season.
He scored the winner.
Yeah,
Sure.
he's scoring crucial goals. Scored the first goal today, when they played Sheffield. Next mention is Alvarez. So this season he's got 6 goals, 7 assists, and I personally just want to apologise because there was a time on the podcast where I said Jesus was better than Alvarez.
Ooh,
I forgot about that.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so I know Alvarez, if you're listening, I just want to apologise.
You think he's done enough to say he's better than...
Not better, but he's a better finisher.
Definitely
You know
a
what
better.
I'm
I
saying?
think, yeah, definitely.
Because Jesus, how many chances does he need to score 1 goal? Whereas Alvarez just seems clinical. So for my part, I just want to say, apologies.
Yeah, I think the key word is that if someone saw Jesus through and goal, they wouldn't be confident. As with Alvarez, you'd know, he's going to slot this.
But yeah, I've seen Alvarez miss chances.
Yeah.
Is it that Alvarez is getting better quality?
I don't think he's a better finisher.
chances?
But I think he wasn't doing that at City. Jesus wasn't doing
Nah, he wasn't.
what Alvarez
No,
is doing at City now.
But I
for
think
2
his
seasons.
role was different because Alvarez does have a central kind of role, whereas Jesus was banished to the
Alvarez he's playing central now, obviously, because of KDB. But last season, okay, fair enough, he plays central, but he was coming on as a sub.
Yeah.
And his numbers are still better than Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know if he's a better finisher, but I know he's definitely a better goal scorer in terms of like shooting, hitting target. But if it's like a one-on-one high pressure thing, I don't know if I fancy him to put the ball in the back of the net.
I'll fancy him more than Jesus.
Yeah.
I would definitely.
Yeah.
I think what's that thing they say? You got recency bias, bro. I think
Me?
he's not you, but just in general. I think
Yeah,
Jesus has missed a lot of chances recently. But he's a bit off form. Not to say he's a great goal scorer. He scores lots of goals.
But he's come out and
But I
said
think-
he's not a goal scorer, isn't he?
but
Or something like that. He's not in it for the goals. He come out and said that himself, didn't he?
Yeah.
Speaking of him, look at him.
he's
Look at his cheek.
But he's nasty. He's a nasty guy. But but I think it is slightly because there are some times when he's thrown goal,
Yeah.
where he bads up the ball. I think like Bournemouth, for example, there's one game where he just henched off the biggest guy I've ever seen in my life, slotted it bottom in the corner. I don't expect that from Alvarez. So I don't know. I think they're probably level in terms of finishing.
Yeah, I wouldn't personally, John, but I wouldn't say it's recency bias. Maybe, as I said, I've seen more chances. I've seen Jesus more times, and I'm comparing him to what I'm seeing of Alvarez now.
Yeah.
And maybe he doesn't have the confidence because football is a confidence game.
I
And
think
right now he
just
probably
like
is.
overall what you've seen and taking it into account.
Taking into account, I think Alvarez seems the more composed in front of goals. So maybe Jesus needs to just get that composed.
I was going to
back
say
and
maybe
confidence.
Jesus said to people he's not really a goal scorer to try and take the pressure off him. But
No, that does put more pressure.
Did he? I'm sure it wasn't him that said that.
It was.
No,
it
he
was
did.
sure someone said that
definitely.
about him.
No,
No,
he said it, but
He
I think
said it.
it was
Loosely translated.
He's not. He's like not
Loosely
just in the goal
translated.
not just in the team to score goals or something like that. Or he's not the best like goal scorer or something like that. He was basically trying to say that he's more of like an all round player to try and contribute to the team than an out and
which
out
he is,
striker.
but he needs to obviously contribute a lot more goals.
But anyway, we're talking about Alvarez, isn't it? So
Yeah. No, that was that. But and obviously, of course, Phil Foden, who's playing in the number 10 role in KDB's absence, and Alvarez playing up front again. Honourable mention.
Yeah, sorry. We expect him to get back into form, but the same issues that he had, trying to figure out how to recover from like Mahrez, Gundogan leaving. He's going to have that same issue with trying to put
Accommodate.
KDB back into the team.
Yeah.
Because you said like Phil Foden was playing number 10. What happens to Phil Foden now?
Yeah. Then what happens to Alvarez as well?
What happens to Alvarez?
You know.
What happens to Haaland? How do we play without a target man? How do we go back to playing with a target man?
Yeah. So maybe they may not go, you know, as it was previously mentioned on the podcast, they're not the same City, but you still expect them to. And Pep's come out and said so many times that, yeah, we're going to win it. So if he's that confident, then who knows?
Has that ever gone well for somebody saying that early? The last person I remember saying that is Striver.
And Striver and Klopp.
No, Striver's last. Klopp was before him.
Yeah, so, and it doesn't go well.
I knew that was coming.
But yeah, let's move on to the next thing, which is Luton 2, Chelsea 3. So for this calendar year, Chelsea are the third worst team in the Premiership. Yeah, you're looking surprised.
That's crazy.
So based on the calendar year, so they would have been if they finished the year in the calendar year, they would have finished 15th. Only coming then Forest, then Palace, so they would have got relegated. But they ended the year with a win, and that was a back-to-back wins against Palace and then Luton.
Just about.
Yeah, just about. But even though they dominated the game against Luton almost could have got back into the game, but they just weren't able to take their chances. But with the Chelsea players coming back from injury, and they seem to be getting back on form, or they seem to be clicking. What do we expect? I'll come to you, John Boy. Do you expect Chelsea to kick on from there? Do you expect them to improve, or do you just think they'll just go back to how they were and just being inconsistent?
I think with Chelsea, with the players they've got, and obviously we've seen teams with better players do worse, but I would say with the players Chelsea got and with Poch, I can't see them. The only way is up, really. Like, they have to improve on what they've done. They've had a terrible start to the season, and looking at them now, being in 10th, maybe they could get higher than that, and they should get higher than that, but I would expect to start seeing improvements in the way that they play, and more consistency in getting results against the lesser teams. Against the better teams, maybe not so much, but against the lesser teams, this season they've been faltering quite a lot, and I expect them to get across the line. Teams like Bournemouth, Luton, Everton, teams like that, they should be beating those week in, week out. The other teams like Brightons, Wolves, Newcastle's, maybe draws, and other teams maybe draws or losses. Yeah. But they should be doing much better than this season. So for me, only way is up, and all they need to add to that really is a bit more creativity and goals to solidify themselves.
But would you say when you say the only way is up for them, if you were to put your neck out, where would you say you'll now expect them to finish? Based on, obviously, you said players coming back, and if
it's a night for me, the top 6 this season or the top 5 is done. They're not getting top 5.
What's the points gap between where they are now to like top 6 or the 6 clubs?
15 points.
15. Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, they're not getting top 6. So, and obviously they're competing with the likes of Newcastle United. So I'm looking at 7th, probably 8th. 8th to 10th is where they're going to finish this season, in my opinion. Same as Newcastle, probably the same as United as well. So for them, Chelsea, Newcastle, United are batting off 8th, 9th, 10th.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, win, lose or draw, Chelsea seem to stay 10th, which is quite funny.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they finish bottom at half of the table, man.
Bottom half of what table?
Of the Prem.
No, they can't.
No, I don't think they would.
No, because Jonathan said the only way is up, but things can get a lot worse before they get better.
No, worse than this, bro.
Yeah, it can get worse, man.
No, but I just said to you, based on this calendar year, they are 15th, so it can't get worse than that. Unless they actually get relegated.
I mean, they can be. What do you mean 15th? They can be 16th.
The calendar year they would have finished bottom 3.
Okay, yeah, okay, I see what you mean. But no, I think they'll lose the games like the Bournemouths, like John Boy said. But it's they'll turn up for the Arsenals and the Liverpools.
Yeah.
Well, Bournemouth they've got a game in hand on Bournemouth, and only 3 points better off than them.
Yeah.
So,
but like the teams around them, I think they will struggle with. But like, funny enough, we got a game against them.
Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea in the Prem coming up. Not next 2 games in the Prem. I think not the next one. The game after.
Yeah.
And I think they'll probably have a good run out against us, but they'll probably lose that because of Anfield or a draw.
But what John Boy said, obviously they're getting the players coming back, and they need to. Do you say they need to be more creative, or they need to get some creative players?
they need to score more goals.
Score more goals.
Definitely.
And be better defensively.
Yeah.
I think that, like, yeah, you can't be conceding 3 goals every game, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say getting their players back, who apart from Nkunku,
Nkunku,
Nkunku.
I know Chukwuemeka, but
Chukwuemeka,
for me, he hasn't been at the team
what's
long
his
enough
name?
to-
What's his name?
He was looking good though when he was there though.
in one game in the pre-season. He hasn't displayed enough for Chelsea for that to be a guy that's missing.
Yeah, no, I get you. I heard that.
But yeah, let's not get too hung up. I'll let me answer your question. So, you got Nkunku, Chukwuemeka, what's the other good?
Ugochukwu,
Lavia.
he played the other day.
Yeah,
Back,
but I think he's injured again or taking it. But I think Klopp is just having, not Klopp, Poch is having all of these players. So it gives him more of an option to, set the team that differently.
Or find out what your best team is.
Yeah, but in terms of creativity, just want to mention obviously Cole Palmer, 2 goals, 1 assist, and for you guys, how would you position him in terms of his importance to Chelsea right now?
Got to be the marquee, man.
Yeah, I think he's up there. But I would have also said Conor Gallagher's quite important to Chelsea, and he seems to be
more important.
Not more important, probably just as kind of thing, because he looks like he's busy. He gets things going. He seems like he's got an element of creativity about him. But he seems to be up for sale. But in regards to Cole Palmer, yeah, man, it's amazing that City can just let him go. Like he can be like dispensable, and he goes into another team who's meant to be like the traditional top 6. And he's literally become a staple piece. Now, obviously, a lot of people were saying he was just contributing goals by way of, was it his penalties?
Penalties, yeah.
But now he's got a couple of outfield goals. Yeah, man, Cole Palmer, I'm messing with him, man.
Yeah, I like him still.
Yeah.
I think Pep would have kept him though. If he wanted to stay.
If he wanted to stay.
Yeah.
100%.
He just wanted to play more.
Exactly
I think
that. I
that's
think
all it
Pep would
is.
have been like, yeah, I'll keep you 100%.
Apparently, he was going to go to Burnley before Chelsea came in for him.
Yeah, because
Really?
company, innit? But I think you would have probably just gone on loan though.
Yeah, it would have been a loan. No way would he go Burnley. Like full time.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Then we get to the next game.
I like how they're trying to now compare him to Saka because he's getting a couple of goals.
Palmer.
Yeah, all these English talents, they always compare them to Saka. Whereas
He's a
It's all these
benchmark, innit?
it's all these tribal fans. Just let players play, man. There's no
but
comparison.
it's a benchmark, and a lot of players would wish they had a Saka. So
it's a compliment
it's
to
more
Saka.
aspirational.
Definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Because with Saka, you don't ever see Saka compared to them. You'll probably see him compared to a Mo Salah. But these
Unfairly.
but these lot are comparing like your Cole Palmers, your Fodens, etc. to Saka.
Because they're all young as well, innit?
Yeah.
And they all play
and left-footed.
And left-footed.
Yeah, that's potentially it.
Foden, Palmer, Saka. Those are the names that I hear all the time.
Yeah.
But on Cole Palmer, because someone, I think as Poch said it, because someone tried to compare him to Mata, and Poch said, nah, he's more of a Di Maria sort of player. And the more I watch him play, the more I sort of see it, because he's got that guile about him, and he's a bit...
He kind of drifts.
Yeah. I like him a lot, man.
Yeah, don't buy for them.
Very good to watch, man.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? I think I think Saka's overall got a better ability and probably got the highest ceiling. But right now, out of Palmer and
Foden.
Palmer and Saka.
Oh.
Palmer and Saka. Hold on, Stripes. Hold on, Stripes. I can see you looking at me. Relax.
I was waiting to see where you go.
Yeah. But I would say right now, Saka's being the least dynamic in the way that he's playing for Arsenal. And probably, I would say there's a possibility that he could lose his space in the England team to a Foden and a Palmer. Both of them.
When you say least dynamic, what do you mean by that?
Like, the way he's set up in the Arsenal team is very predictable. Like, a lot of what he does is quite systematic.
But
and
that's the same as Salah, to be completely honest.
Yeah, but Salah still looks dynamic though. Saka looks like I can do this one thing and I'm going to keep doing it until it works. He has his strengths, obviously. He's a great player. I love him. But I'm saying in this Arsenal team, I think the way that Mikel's using him, he's looking a bit stale.
I think in comparison to like your Fodens and stuff, I can kind of appreciate that angle because obviously we've seen Foden, like he's quite exceptional. Like you've seen him on the left and the right, you've seen him on the 10, and it kind of you when people are doing the comparables, it kind of makes you think, oh, how was that compared in the first place when Saka's kind of having this patch where he's delivering but not really delivering.
Yeah.
So I get it. But where I disagree with you somewhat, not just because obviously I'm a fan of Saka.
I'm a fan of Saka too.
Yeah, I know you're a fan of Saka, but where I disagree somewhat is I think we're seeing his limitations more because of the way obviously Arsenal are playing.
Exactly.
And you know what I mean? I think like when you see him in the England team, for instance, when he's playing with Kane up top, you see a little bit more of that that dynamic play that I think we're missing at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Because you know that a Kane's going to be, he might drop in, but you know Kane's going to get into the box, and you know Kane's got a lot more capability in that box. Saka's getting to that byline, he's crossing it in there, and so he can go inside, he can go on the outside. We're seeing a little bit more, we're seeing him cut in, we're seeing him do them shots outside the box. There's just a little bit more with him in that England team, and maybe also England are playing lower level opposition, so he's looking good in that sense as well. But I just think that you're making a point, but I don't feel like it's a Saka situation. I think it's plays around him, in my personal opinion.
There's Arsenal.
No, just yeah,
it's just like a team.
Yeah. It's Arsenal still.
It's Mikel.
We've been sussed.
Wait, sorry, you said it's not Saka, it's the players around him.
Yeah, I think so, because I think Saka doesn't get highlighted the way he's been highlighted if everyone else around him
are performing.
Yeah, we're performing.
But hold on to that. When we come to the Arsenal segment, you can go in depth. I didn't realise it's this long. This much left. Let's move on to the Liverpool game. Liverpool 4, Newcastle 2.
Hey.
And as customary, guys, when two of the pundits come against each other, and the losing person must give the winning person a clap of honour. So as a man of my word, as a man that sometimes supports Newcastle,
I'm glad I made it in time for this.
Is there anyone else want to add to that?
You don't even have to take this applause.
Yeah, he doesn't.
It's like taking applause from Wigan or something, bro, man. It's nothing big.
Yeah, I think Newcastle should come out of this for now.
Yeah.
But speaking on Liverpool, apparently it's a record-breaking XG in terms of what you had. I think it was 7.27 versus
7.2.
I think, yeah. And
I heard something. I heard it was record breaking. I didn't know it was crazy like that.
record breaking amount of shots in the first half.
I don't know, but yeah, in total you had 34 shots.
Yeah, no, so but
15 on target
for the first half games. Yeah. Well, that's a record, and then obviously they broke the XG record as well.
Does that concern you that you only score 4 goals?
No, do you know why? Because Salah said obviously he went in at halftime, changed his boots, and he said like I can't go leave Liverpool like this, and he came out and then delivered a great performance. Man. So,
are you making it up?
No, that's exactly what he said, bro.
Oh, so Salah changed his boots.
He changed his boots because he missed the penalty.
And then he said, I can't leave on this performance.
Well, he changed his boot because he missed the penalty?
No,
I think he slipped.
Gary Neville asked him, is that why he changed his boots? And he said, yeah. But yeah, he said that you can't leave on this performance. And then he just came back and gave a decent performance, man. So, that XG thing doesn't really concern me because I'm looking at some of the chances.
It shouldn't be concerning at all. It's not even...
Because you're creating chances.
Yeah, and you've scored them. And then, it wasn't like Arsenal when you're creating them, you don't score any.
But in the Man United game, for example, we had 33.
Yeah.
And then we didn't put anything in the back of the net.
So that's concerning. What's not concerning is scoring 4.
Yeah,
No. It is. I get his point because you need a high percentage.
Yeah.
Conversion rate. The conversion rate is ugly.
But if you deep
that means the chances that if you got an XG of 7, that means means you've put in good chances.
Yeah, but
you've only converted.
Yeah, but it's football. If you look at that, so they had a record-breaking XG in a game that they scored 4. Mm-hmm. In a game that you scored 7, it didn't. When you beat Man United, was it 7?
Yeah, XG wasn't crazy.
Exactly. So sometimes an XG is just an XG. But remember, if you take advantage of it and you're scoring, that's what matters.
That 7-0 game, I didn't even register it as like anything.
Yeah, it wasn't a 7-0 game.
Just bragging rights in it. But I'm not worried yet. But it's an early warning notice. Like, do you know what I mean? Everybody needs to be on warning that this is something that could potentially become something that's going to hinder us from achieving anything that we want to achieve this season.
I mean, the finishes were good, and the build-up play was great as well. So
in the goals,
yeah.
In the rest of the stuff, like again, obviously, Szoboszlai, I don't know if he's tired, exhausted, or like coming from Bundesliga to coming to Premier League is a different kettle of fish for him, but. The passing in like the final thirds and decision making it's disappointing. It's been disappointing for like the last 5-6 games as I keep on saying on the pod. But it could turn very bad very soon.
But Salah's stats are crazy though, because in the Premier League, most goal involvements 22, most goals 14, most assists 8, most touches in opposition box 163, Most open play chances created, 46. Most shots on target, 33. Most big chances created, 17. Most big chances scored, 12.
Yeah, there's a saying, it's called different gravy, bro.
Yeah, he is different.
Gravy, you know. But he's also benefited from Haaland being on the sidelines.
Bro, if he's different gravy, why does he never get doubled up on or tripled up on? Like,
it's because
wait, hang on. Do you think they don't try to do that?
I'm just asking why he doesn't.
Think they
If he's
don't try
different
to do that?
gravy. Well, I didn't see that they tried to do it. Only
Who's
I think
talking about?
only
Newcastle game.
Yeah, the Newcastle game. They didn't. They were doubling up on Nunes, funny enough, but they weren't doubling up on Saka. I mean, not sorry.
Who
Salah.
Wrong game,
That's
wrong
what I was
game.
gonna go with. Like, you know,
do you remember-
Saka's always getting doubled up.
No, but do you remember who they're playing against? Like who they're gonna get to double up? Anthony Gordon, who came on in the second half and played on that side, and who I can't remember who played on the first half.
I'm just like
Remember?
Joe Linton.
Yeah, Joe Linton. Joe Linton can't do that, bro. Like Joe Linton's a striker, bro.
He can do the because he's a workhorse.
No, he can do the workhorse, but he's not smart defensively.
Yeah.
So like you can't do interceptions.
You can't instill that in
He can't
person,
jockey.
someone.
No, he can't jockey or do
Bro,
interceptions.
Joe
bro.
Linton, he just came out from injury, but when he's fit, he's up and down.
I'm not having Joe Linton over any DM in the league.
No, he's not. Joe Linton's not a DM.
But you can't put anybody to do that job. You need somebody who's defensive minded. Because
No,
he
so
said, why
he-
don't they double up? You can't use Anthony Gordon to double up on Saka. You can't use Joe
I
Linton.
think it's harder
in
to
my opinion.
double up on Liverpool players anyway.
Why'd you say that?
Because Arsenal in terms of Martinelli and Saka in terms of wing play, they're so far wide that it's easy to double up. By the time you get here, by the time Saka gets the ball, to get two guys on him is quite easy because he's so far away from the goal.
I disagree.
Whereas with Salah, he plays much closer to the goal.
No,
He does. He gets
Similar, bro.
He can go wide. Yeah, so he can go wide.
He was, yeah.
He can go wide, but sometimes he's close to the goal.
No, I think he's more wide than he is closer.
Yeah,
in his
I
starting
think so.
position, but then he dribbles in. And then he does like bounce passes with the CMs as well, but mostly where he starts off out there with chalk.
Proper. And I thought the game was dope. Like, I thought it was one of the best
Good game,
games
man.
I've watched. Funny enough, I can't remember what group was it. Our group, or maybe come in a couple of groups. Someone was like, they're not enjoying this. It was actually a Liverpool fan in another group not enjoying this game. But for
Who's
me,
not
it was.
enjoying it? Oh, they're not enjoying
Yeah,
it.
But you wouldn't though because
Yeah.
it was ugly watching first half, man.
But for me, it wasn't like because it looked like you guys had similar like game plans, like where the press it wasn't like a man-to-man aggressive press, but it was like anytime the ball was going out wide, either team, both Newcastle and Liverpool, that's when it was triggering the press. I don't know it was triggering the press. Like when you were going wide, you guys were then attacking to the Newcastle players, and I felt like Newcastle was doing it back to Liverpool, and it just seemed kind of end to end. Joe Linton looked like he was man marking Trent for me. He looked like he was trying to keep Trent quiet, and that's why I was just clocking in it because I was just trying to see like what are Newcastle doing to keep like Mo Salah quiet? And to me, it looked like Mo Salah he didn't seem to have as much to deal with in terms of like being doubled up on or tripled up on like that I see when Arsenal are playing. Like I'm doing direct comparisons. So I'm watching it with that agenda in mind. I'll be honest with you.
But what I will say, I think it's easier to do that as well because honestly speaking, Arsenal's threat comes down from one side of the pitch. This season, in my opinion, it all comes down from the right hand side. So if you put double up on Saka, you kind of technically have more players around where Odegaard spends most of the time on the pitch. Whereas if you double up on Salah, then you're kind of taken away from Diaz, you're taken away from Nunes, who's a pest. You're taken away from Soboslai, who's a threat. You're taken away from all these other guys because we play a bit different, but you guys kind of utilize that play a lot more than we do. So you play through Odegaard and Saka.
And Martinelli when he's firing, because he gets doubled up on.
I'm just talking about this season. Though,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think like I said, the point I was trying to make is it's harder to double up on Liverpool players because the front three are a little more dynamic.
Mobile.
Yeah, and let's have it right. Salah's a better player at the moment. Like he's more refined.
I think-
No, at the
General-
moment, full
in
stop,
general.
he is.
at the moment, because full stop would mean that Saka's not capable of. I'm
Yeah.
saying at the moment, bro. Come on, bro. What's going on with this dude, bro? One minute he's
wondering
a
what's
man.
going on with you,
Hold
bro.
on, he's a man of. Hold on, you can't be a man of many club faces, yeah. And then all of a sudden you just turn on the star boy, bro.
No.
that's
As I
not
said,
what
I am a
happened.
Tottenham fan. I will speak the
You were
truth when
defending
it's
something that
required.
didn't need to be defended.
I'm not defending you. I said at the moment, I thought that was fair to just let that ride.
Can I just say something though, innit? Like, obviously, I took a lot of heat when I said a couple of things about Newcastle star boy and Anthony Gordon, innit?
Yeah. He's gonna double down. I know.
Do you remember we put Joe Gomez on the watch list last season? Do you remember that?
What, you put him on?
He's been good this season.
I don't know if I did. I don't know if I did.
No, he's not in it this season.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But Anthony Gordon started off on the right.
Yeah.
Did anyone see him in the first half?
No.
It was quiet.
Right, and then he went over to the left to get some joy. Yeah, he got that assist. It was a good ball. Skip past 2 players, got that.
Yeah.
I blame Van Dijk personally. But I'm just saying, since we had that conversation, I've been through his games. I've watched every single Newcastle game.
That's a lie.
Bear with me. I've watched every single Newcastle game, bro. I've watched every single one.
And you're going to say he's not performed?
No. I'm going to give you a list. PSG game, good. Newcastle, Man United. I think he was okay in that game. He got the goal, but the PSG game, he was good, but he got subbed off. I think he was good, but he got subbed off early.
Okay.
Man United, he got the goal, but I think he was okay in that game. Everton, Newcastle,
Not good.
stank.
PSG, I'm good. I'm going to say decent.
I think it was good.
Let's not get
So,
That
that game,
Newcastle.
I had stocks on him in it, that game.
Tottenham, Newcastle, when they got slammed, 4-1, shit.
Okay.
Newcastle, AC Milan, I think he was okay in that game. Sorry, that's the one where he got hooked.
Sorry.
That's the one where
sorry,
it was
my
67
bad.
minutes.
My bad.
Yeah. Oh, I think he was good, but Strive says okay. Newcastle, Fulham, he was great in that game. Chelsea, Newcastle in the League Cup, he was okay.
Yeah.
He was okay. Luton, Newcastle, shit. Nottingham Forest, shit. Liverpool, Newcastle, I think it was meaty, but he got the assist.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, since I've said that and I got cooked on Instagram,
Yeah.
boy.
No, but the difference is that you said that at a point when he was really flying, when Newcastle were also flying.
No.
And now...
Exactly, bro. Because I saw that Newcastle are flying and he's doing all right. But he's not what you guys think he is. So I'm saying
what do we think he is?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Okay, so again, at the start of the season, the superlatives were not matching the quality of player.
What was said? I think everyone said he's doing. He's a good player. He's doing well. No one said he's world class.
No, they were raving. They were raving.
What do you mean they weren't raving, bro?
No, I said they were raving. They were raving.
When you say raving,
sorry, let me just apologise to Jay because
They were raving.
He was ready to snap.
I need to understand because-
but I do think Joey is a bit guilty of he's kind of amping up what's being said a little bit too much. I think I'm with the other day. Like we didn't go on like this guy's the second coming.
I'm not talking about you guys. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about. Remember, I got cooked.
Oh, okay.
I didn't get cooked by you guys.
Okay.
I'll just say like
you're responding to.
And then we went to the group, and actually I'm going to say Marlon because Marlon he keeps on saying I have this thing where I like to single out players and I like to thingy.
Marley Marl will say that you like to celebrate the underdog.
I do like to celebrate the underdog,
but you don't like to give credit to. I don't know. I think I
don't like to give undeserved credit.
There was a word that you guys.
No, but when you said undeserved credit, at the point when everyone was raving about him or saying he's one of the better. He's one of the better players in Newcastle.
No, they weren't saying that. They were saying he's one of the better players in Newcastle, and I don't think
at the time he was.
I don't know, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's a purple patch team.
Okay, so if no one said he's, everyone said this season so far, Anthony Gordon is a stand-up player for Newcastle, which he was at that time. There's nothing wrong with that statement.
No, that's not what people were saying.
What are they saying?
They weren't saying this season so far. He's a standout player. I'm saying to you.
Because last season, they can't have said it last season, because last season he weren't playing.
Yeah.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. But how many seasons has he had in the Premier League, bro? How many seasons has he had in the Premier League?
I don't know. I know
him before at Everton.
Yeah, Everton.
I know him at Newcastle.
Was in and out, he was okay.
So all I'm saying is that like we need to temper the superlatives that were being applied. And I thought it was
that's
what I'm
fine,
saying. If you don't circle yourself, life is going to circle you. And all them people that will come back. Remember, guys, I'm not talking about you guys.
I don't know. I'm talking about
let's
say the username.
Let's not get hung up.
You're beating someone up for no reason, bro.
All I'm saying is that I saw it, and then I think it's starting to come out.
But no, because even what you said, because at the same time, in the same pod, you also said, because Marley asked you a question about Diaby, you said Diaby is, you described.
Yeah, because I can see the quality.
No, but you basically described Anthony Gordon.
I didn't.
You said he's direct, he's this, and everyone's like, that's Anthony Gordon.
No, I said he's direct, and what's the this and this, bro?
Huh?
What's the this and this?
I think you've been saying
because I think Diaby's clinical, bro.
But whatever you said,
Diaby's a better footballer, bro.
That's fine, but whatever you said, everyone's like, but that's Anthony Gordon.
But it's not. But that's my point. It's not.
Let's not get hung up about it. Let's go smart Liverpool.
But my point is that's not Anthony Gordon.
Okay,
and let me temper myself down in it because when I write, I get excited.
So obviously, Salah leaves Liverpool with 3 points, 2 assists, and 1 goal yesterday. No, 2 goals, 1 assist. He goes to the Afcond. Things going to miss. If Egypt get to the final, he will miss the following game.
Why are you wishing evil things on us?
They probably will get far.
If they get to the final,
they go to the finals.
They will miss Arsenal's FA Cup, which is depends if he goes this week. Bournemouth, Chelsea, then Arsenal again.
Yeah.
He misses the second Arsenal game.
Who missed the Arsenal games?
If Egypt go all the way to
We know we need to pray for you.
But guys, even if he gets to I think it's the quarterfinals, he'll come back on the 3rd of April. The game's on the 3rd of Feb. Game's on the 4th of Feb. So I think that Arsenal game's he's not making that game.
You don't think he's making it?
No, I don't think he's making that game.
Question, yeah. How have you functioned? Sorry.
I definitely had a question, but go down.
I was just going to say, how have you functioned without like your Sadio Manes and your Salahs in the past?
Oh yeah, so it's funny you say that because I checked the record. So the first time we missed him, or not the first time, but the first out of the last two, we I think we came 1 point behind. We finished 1 point behind City.
Okay.
After that, the next one we came like third off behind Man United when they came second with Oli.
Okay.
So we can do stuff, but it just depends on whether we're going to do it or not.
Okay.
So the question, obviously, piggyback off Strives is who do you now expect to rise it?
Well, when you say rise it, you mean just go in and play in that position?
No, as in who do you expect to
pick up the reins?
Oh,
Yeah,
no, I
I
expect everybody to shape up
pitch
or
in.
ship out, man, because like let's have it right. This is a guy who has locked down a position for the last however many years he's been at the club. If you have anything about yourself in terms of wanting to come up and show that, yeah, I should be playing football, this is an opportunity for you to come in and show that. People have suggested maybe Harvey Elliott going out there because he's left-footed, and I don't think he's as dynamic as John Boy was using the word, but he is somebody that can do something out there. For me personally, you would probably have to expect something from Núñez out there, expect something from Gakpo, and expect something from Harvey Elliott.
Yeah.
That's my expectations, man.
That's a lot of expectation from Núñez, though.
No, because funny enough, Núñez, weirdly enough, when it comes to putting chances in the back and in it, he's a bit
wishy-washy.
Whatever you guys want to say. But when it comes to putting balls on the plate for players, right, he seems to be so good at that.
Yeah, I know.
But when it comes to like 1-2s or doing little 5-yard passes, he's terrible. But if there's a chance of a goal being put in the back of the net, bro, he's all on it, man.
Yeah, but Salah brings a lot of creativity, though. Like Núñez.
No, I'm not expecting creativity from Núñez.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting anything other than do the basics of which is basically spread the team out wide and continue.
So who would Klopp put in Salah's position to start? Who do you think he'd put there?
I think, like I said, it's either going to be Gakpo, Núñez, or because Núñez has played on the right this season. It's either going to be Núñez, Gakpo, or Harvey Elliott.
Yeah, I'd probably favour Gakpo for some reason. I don't know why.
On the right.
I mean, he played there for PSV, so he's the most likely in terms of if you want to play with a right winger. But if you just want to add like a deep.
It's a good problem to have, though, isn't it?
Not really.
No, I don't think it's a good problem.
No,
but that being
not
said,
even. But I'm saying in terms of like they can put players in those positions.
Yeah, I
they
think
can put them, but doesn't mean they'll do well in it.
Yeah.
No. But they should have enough.
I think what benefits Liverpool is you've got a good system, and I think because you've got a good system, it's like. From what I've seen of Liverpool, no matter kind of what players come in and out, you seem to still have the same potency. You seem to still have that same kind of threat. Obviously, losing Salah is going to hurt anybody because Salah is like the player he is. But yeah, I don't think it's mad doom and gloom. But it certainly stands in the other challenges with a chance without your.
I'm not fearful of it. Though what I am though is Szoboszlai is actually injured, so he caught an injury in that game. So I'm not sure how long he's going to be out for.
Yeah, he came out. He was holding his hammy, innit?
Yeah. So I'm not sure how long he's going to be out for. That's where I think the issues could potentially rise from. But
just play McAllister and Curtis Jones is on fire,
and Endo goes to Asia Cup.
Goes to Asia Cup as well. So McAllister is going to be playing.
Yeah,
so we've still got a hole in there. Curtis Jones plays when Szoboszlai plays as well.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just thinking because McAllister didn't start the other day.
Yeah, but he's going to take over for Endo, innit?
Yeah.
Do you feel that with your players? Yeah, do you ever call them backups to your starting players, or do you say it's dependent on the team you're playing who's going to start?
I think mostly it is dependent, but I do hold some players as backups. So even though for me Harvey Elliott has showed enough to probably be getting more game time, technically he's a backup. And he's a kind of like a super sub because he's been coming off the bench and scoring goals. Yeah, but I can't even remember who else plays in that middle, man. Like everyone else other than that crop of players is technically a backup for me.
Okay.
Like Gakpo is a mixed player, but you just got subs, reserves, and those that main core.
The core guys.
Finally, before we move away from Liverpool, we obviously have to talk about the only one controversial incident, which we were obviously discussing briefly off the pod, which is the Jota penalty. I know your thoughts, Joe. Obviously, we'll get on the airways, but let me start with you, Strives. What do you think of the not that it would have changed the outcome of the game, but what do you think of that penalty? And try not to bring it back to Arsenal.
You took the wind out of me.
Yeah, no, he really did as well.
No, go for it. But let's be quick on this one. So
No, you know what? I thought it was a disgrace. I thought it was an absolute disgrace, bruv. Like, how are you going around the keeper and then the thing is, like, he lost his balance, in my opinion. I think he lost his balance and then he thought, oh yeah, like I got a touch there. Let me go down and let me see what's going on. Let me see what happens. I don't think, he even thought he was going to win the penalty. He was within his right to do it. So I understand where some people, like, there was a touch, no matter how slight it was, but there's no way Stockley Park's looking at that and giving that as a penalty. To me, that was absolutely.
No, but they did look at it though, right?
Yeah, but they gave it.
But I can't believe they gave that.
Yeah.
That's insane, bro. That's insane. Unless he did that for Salah, bro. Unless he was like, yo, I'm doing this for my boy Salah so he can get a penalty to right. That's the only thing I can think of. Otherwise, why are you not trying to score the goal unless you've lost your balance? And if you've lost your balance, then you've defrauded the referee. Bruv, that's a dive, bruv.
Yeah.
That's a dive, bruv. He needs to get a yellow, maybe even a red.
You said something important yesterday. You said it's criminal.
Yes, it's criminal.
But you didn't say it was wrong. You just said it's criminal.
Hold on,
Is it criminal wrong?
Is it
Not
being a
necessarily,
criminal wrong?
because criminal is like, just because something's illegal, it doesn't mean morally it's wrong. Do you know what I mean? I think you chose your words correctly yesterday.
I see what he's saying.
Yeah, so because I'm thinking, if it's Arsenal, how would you feel about it? If it's Nketiah,
I applauded it. I applauded the fact that he done
so
it.
I'm where you are, bro.
Yeah, but it was, bro. He defrauded the ref, though.
Yeah,
I don't think he defrauded the ref, because I think, you know where I stand with contact in the box. I think if you made contact in the box, you're running that risk of giving away the penalty, because if you make somebody I don't want to take it back to Arsenal, but if you, that Jesus one where he kicked in the box,
Dennis Estrada made sure I didn't bring it up.
There was
thanks for that.
Jesus against Liverpool last season where Thiago kicked him in his foot. That was a penalty. I was angry that it was given, but it was a penalty. So I think with me, when you make contact in the box, you run that risk of it being a penpenalty. I think
not every contact can be.
I agree with that to a certain extent, but I think it's up to the player that's received the contact, because you can't say to him what that contact has done. Strive said that he was off balance. I think he was off balance, and I think he was scared to try and put it in the back of the net with his left foot. Because if people are cussing you and you miss that, like, it's a lose-lose situation. You're either going to piss off Liverpool fans or you're going to piss off
the world.
Alan Shearer and Ian Wright.
The world.
Who do you care about more?
Yeah.
So that's what I think, man. But if I was a referee, I'm not giving a penalty for that.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to.
Sorry, bruv. Just before you do move on, because obviously you're representing Newcastle. What on for Newcastle, bruv?
Let me tell you something.
This has been like, I think this is like I think they've lost 7 out of the last 8 games in all competitions.
Eddie Howe, what are we saying?
I think they've lost 5 games in one. Bruv, they've lost 5 games all season, and last season, and I swear they've lost like 5 games in the last month.
Yeah.
Bruv.
But I think that squad depth is a major thing as well for them.
100%.
What are you saying for Eddie Howe? Like,
no, he should stay. Like, Eddie Howe's probably he'll get Newcastle to a certain place, and someone else is going to come and take Newcastle to the promised land.
So did he get Newcastle to that place, is he now taking them out of it?
No, I don't think so. 'Cause I said it on the podcast 2 weeks ago. The same team that's competing in the Champions League, half of those players were fighting relegation 2 seasons ago.
That's true.
So give credit to Eddie Howe for what he's done for that team in terms of getting them to play PSG. Who would have thought Newcastle would play PSG in 18 Milan 2 seasons ago?
He probably should have qualified.
Exactly.
Like, he was unfortunate.
So yeah, he's just unfortunate. Obviously, the squad was a bit thin. Now you're playing in Champions League and all these other cup competitions. So it's a lot of games for them to be playing. And even a few podcasts back, I said, I think when Newcastle were going to play Tottenham, I said I thought they'll beat Everton, but lose to Tottenham. Fair enough, they lost both of them. But it was like the games were coming thick and fast, and Newcastle's squad is short. So
I said that at the start of the season.
Yeah,
bro.
Callum Wilson comes in, then he gets injured.
Yeah.
You know,
he's got to go, bro. Man.
Yeah. I think he'll probably go next season.
But then there's a lot of rumours, isn't there, about the players playing away from home as well. Maybe that's playing on their minds.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those rumours.
What? Can't elaborate?
About the whole hotel thing.
Yeah, the hotel thing.
That's what I was asking you the other day. If Arsenal have a hotel in the city as well, bro, because they've been banging prosies, bro.
Allegedly.
Wow.
Allegedly, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Blonde Saka loves a prosy, yeah.
He loves his Bible, man.
Bro.
He loves his Bible.
Okay, speaking of Saka, let's move on to Arsenal. Let's move on to Arsenal now. I didn't want to speak about this, but it just came to my head. But since Saka's dyed his hair, Arsenal haven't won a game.
Ooh,
Bro.
That's a stat, you know.
Bro, honestly, man, you see, I said something in a group I'm in, and I was getting berated because there are racial undertones. But I've got this thing about with Nigerians, like especially when you come back from home, and even westernized Nigerians, when you give us a lot of money, bro, sometimes we lose our minds, bruv. I just
partaking in worldly activities.
Sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, we say humble, we know what we want to do, we feed our family, we do all that, but sometimes when that money just keeps coming after a while, bro, you start getting crazy. Africans in general, look at Aubameyang, bruv. We saw this guy coming in with bright green Lamborghini. Bruv, Africans in general with money, I'm not, like, I love my guys in it, like, we're affluent people, we know how to shine, but
to
after
live
a while, bruv. So when I saw Saka come in with the blonde hair just to land the point, I was like, bruv, that money started to get to his head, bro. Why is your hair blonde, bro? Ever since he's had this blonde hair,
bro. You ever just had the hairstyle though, like? Remember we was all getting them hairstyles back in uni times. Did you not ever get one of them hairstyles?
No, man. I used to look at you guys like, bro, he's got to see your head.
Yeah. I can't lie though.
Student loan.
Student loan, mohawk.
And then times there was just bare shifts in it. So the freaking light skin wave was gone. The dark skin man was winning. It got to you man's head, man. You look got money. You remember in shit. You started doing crazy stuff with your hair.
Straz, the thing is, when I first saw him dye his hair like that, bro, I just thought back to when Pogba used to just do stupidness.
No, now you're being racist, bro.
Nah, bro.
Wait.
No.
How many games
did his hair all the time, bro, and never putting a performance on the pitch.
What, the draw against Liverpool?
I hear you, man. I think there's some underlying.
Bro.
I think there's some underlying trend there. When you have these flamboyant haircuts, I think it affects the way you play.
Pogba and Saka are not the only black guys that have done things.
No, but I'm saying because I'm Man United. So when I'm seeing Saka do it, I'm like, oh.
I mean, the only other guy I can think of is Jibril Cisse.
Yeah, true, that guy as well. He had some wild haircuts, bro.
What about Juve?
Yeah,
that guy's spitting on everybody, bro.
But
not a good example.
So with Arsenal, yes, obviously Arsenal were sitting top of the league on Christmas Day. A few games later, they're now fourth, and there's been a lot of reactionary fans who are saying Arsenal are now out of the title race.
Yes.
So let's start with obviously So let's start. Obviously, there was a game against West Ham in which Arsenal played well but lost.
Wait, what? West Ham?
Yeah, the game
Fulham. West Ham was last week.
Yeah.
Can I host?
I'm just asking.
Please.
Did you catch the podcast of Dennis Schrader?
Yeah. So that game, Arsenal played well, but they lost. Correct, John Boy? Okay, no, they didn't play well. Sorry, so they didn't play well according to John Boy.
All right.
Even though they had 34 shots and
okay.
That's not good, man.
Don't care.
And this game against Fulham, obviously Arsenal didn't play well and they didn't get the result. So John Boy, how concerned are you that this is Arsenal's fight for the title is now over?
I would say I'm very concerned. And I would say that. Oh, no, what? You asked me a question. Why are you laughing?
Because you're laughing silently. Everyone's wondering, why is this guy forcing, bro?
Did you think Arsenal was going to win the Premier League in the first instance?
Did I think?
Yeah.
I thought we had a good shot.
Okay.
Right? But that was based on how we played football last season.
Okay.
Obviously, things have changed a lot this season. We're not scoring goals. We're conceding a lot of stupid goals.
Mm-hmm. But that's only recent.
No. It's not only recent. It's been a trend throughout the whole season.
Oh, okay. Stupid goal, but not loads of goals.
Yeah, stupid goals. And we're conceding from low shots. We don't concede that many shots, but we concede a lot of goals. And to me, there's something in the system that's broken in terms of defensive structure and attacking structure. We're less fluid. Therefore, I can't see beyond the last game. In the last game, we stunk. The game before that, we stunk. yeah, regardless of what you say, you created 34 chances. Of those 34 chances, I can only think of a couple of clear-cut chances. Yes, we should have probably won the game. But that's not to say that we played well.
Did West Ham play well? Did West Ham play well?
They defended well, and that's what they came to do.
I'll come back to that, but let me ask you a question, Jerry. So Liverpool had an XG of whatever they had. If they came out of that game yesterday, or whenever they played Newcastle,
and Man United.
That's just a Newcastle, but they lost 2-0. What's your takeaway from that game?
No, we played shit.
You played shit.
We played.
So even the fact that your XG that you had right now, well, obviously you managed to score 4. If you didn't score those goals, you would have come and said, you played shit, but Newcastle played good.
Man United game, we had 33 shots. We played shit. Newcastle game, we had 34 shots. Did you say how many?
34.
34, 7 goal XG.
Yeah, 7.27.
Record-breaking shots in the first half.
Yeah.
We played shit, bro, in the first half. That first half was dead. and I'm going to tell you why we played shit. We played shit because if you're creating these chances and you don't put these chances in the back of the net, bro, what's going to happen is the team is going to score.
Okay,
and that's exactly what happened.
But that's fine.
So we know the psychology of games.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
So what I'm getting at is, okay, I wasn't expecting you to say that. I would have thought, okay, you didn't win the game, but you didn't play shit. And I think people put together results and ignore performances. So your performance was good enough to have won that game, but you didn't win the game. Doesn't mean you play shit.
No, but
it means you didn't put your chances on.
No. It does. It means more than that though, because your performance is based on more than just having 60% possession.
No one's disputing that. But you created good chances. If you have an XG of 7,
no,
you
that's the
good
thing.
chances.
I don't think we created good chances. I don't. So that's another thing. I don't think the quality of the chances were good. Like I was saying to Dre, Dre said Dubravka had a great game. I think Dubravka had a normal game. All the chances and the shots were straight at the keeper.
Yeah.
So he didn't have to work that hard. So that's why I think, like, at the end of the day, the chances that you're creating are making, like, Nunes is beating the defender and it's coming off his shin. That's not a good chance. It's not a good quality chance. And then it's coming off Dubravka's chin.
So in other words for you, irrelevant of your performance, if you don't win it, you played shit.
No, it counts on the quality of your chances that you're created. So you can create 10 good quality chances. And I think you play better than somebody who's had 33 chances on goal and none of those were good quality chances.
Okay.
Yeah, does that make sense? Sort
of, but I would have thought if you've come a game where you've had an XG of 7.27 versus someone who's only got 2, had 12 shots on target, that's fair enough. You didn't win a game, but you performed well. And sorry,
another thing, that Newcastle's 2 XG, that's poor from us. Those chances were conceded were poor. So all of that is holistically, it's poor. It's a poor performance.
Exactly, but you wouldn't say Newcastle played better than you, right? But they scored 2. Now back to this West Ham and Arsenal game. Arsenal had XG, but West Ham scored 2 with only like 2 shots. West Ham, they didn't deserve to win the game, but they won the game. So no, back to Arsenal. So you're saying, what are you saying, that this is a concern for you? I would have thought it was more concerning because you played shit against West. I said you played shit against Fulham, and you lost. West Ham, it's not as concerning because
it is concerning.
No, it's still concerning because obviously it's now moved on to Fulham. If you're looking at the game in isolation, as Mikhail said, West Ham, you should have got more out of it. Fulham, you deserve nothing out of it.
No, so the West Ham game, it's not that. I don't think it was a good performance, but it speaks more volumes of how we've played throughout the whole season rather than just that one game. Like I'm looking at the stats here because you made me bring it up because you're talking about stats and XG.
Yeah,
we had 74% possession, 30 shots total, 8 shots on target, and an XG of 2.7. So from 30 shots, you can an XG of 2.7. That's not
good quality.
They're not good quality chances. But the point that I'm making is that we're struggling to score. A lot of the goals have come from set pieces. A lot of them come from set pieces. When we're struggling to score from open play, I said before that Saka's looking a bit not dead, but not as good as he was. Martinelli's looking a bit isolated. Dead. Jesus is looking a bit isolated.
Dead.
Yeah, cool, whatever. It's a season thing, and I'm not looking at it in isolation. You might say it's reactionary, but I'm looking at it as the whole season. I've not been impressed with bar the Champions League performances. I've not seen us perform in the league and say that performance there. That was
of course, I would agree with you on that.
So you're saying to me, what are we looking at for the season in terms of the league? I'm saying I can't see it. So we've had half of the season now. It's 20 games now even, and I'm sitting there saying I can't pick out one performance that I'm like, yeah, that to me says we've got it.
Okay, and again, so I need to go back to Liverpool. How many performances have you had this season where you're like, wow, this is Liverpool are sick? Because I've heard a lot of Liverpool fans say, you know what, we've been playing shit.
But
this is how
we've been playing shit in probably the last 7-8 games.
No, but
prior to that, we had a couple decent.
Yeah, so
I think there's maybe one and a half performance.
Yeah.
But doesn't that make you the team to win the Prem? You play shit, you still win, you still score the goals.
But this is the point
it does
I'm trying to make, whereby I feel like it's too reactionary because all these things that you're saying, it's literally Liverpool couple of games ago.
I don't think we're going to win the title. Like, based on how we've played this season, I'm not confident to say that we're going to win the title. I feel like we're all sitting ducks, waiting for Man City to come and pick us off. That's what I feel like. I felt like that all season because we know how Man City get down, and whoever's going to win the title is because Man City or Pep are not going to be able to get shift into gear when their time counts.
Let me come to the other Arsenal fan in the room. So, as John Boy's pointed out, is your attack. I keep on saying your attack is it's not fluid enough, or it's blunt.
Yeah.
Like, as if you were Mikel, what would be your alternatives to trying to fix that, or what do you think is missing?
That's a very interesting question. Am I allowed to talk about like the window, or you mean with our team?
With the current team, yeah.
Yeah. So it was interesting because, like John Boy said, which I agree with, we did play very poor against Fulham, and in the previous game we never had the likes of Kai Havertz. A lot of people was like, "Oh, we missed Kai Havertz," and I was one of the people that believed that we missed Kai Havertz. Yeah, but it wasn't because he's like this clutch player that. Like the ultimate clutch player that's gonna like win us games or anything. It was because he had qualities that potentially we could have exploited and changed the way that we played in order to deliver an alternative threat against Fulham. I wasn't offended by it, but it was quite interesting to see that he left Eddie on the pitch and brought on Jesus. What have you not? But it was like you brought on more of the same. Because if you remember, like last season's podcast, season 1 of Podcast Pundits, I often said that I feel like Eddie Nketiah is not too dissimilar to Jesus. So although you brought Jesus on, and Jesus might be a little bit better in terms of packing out the midfield and linking up the play and what have you not, it was still very much the same. And we've been sussed, we've been found out. Maybe what you could have done is you've got this Kai Havertz dude kind of thing. You're using him left centre mid, and he's chipped in with some goals and he's had an assist and what have you not. Here he's getting better, but ultimately having a player of that profile, you could have maybe stuck him up top, try something different, and then maybe we can stick some crosses into the box and what have you not, and just see what comes of it. He literally kept everything the same. Brought on more of the same on the pitch, and we just look so uninspiring. Like, so you might call this reactionary, but I'm not reactionary when I say I started off saying Arsenal's going to win the league, but after watching a whole like half of the season and seeing that game, I'm still hopeful we can win the league, but I can't have the same chest anymore. Like, I have to adjust it to the point where I'm just like, it's looking like it could be another second place finish.
Yeah, which isn't surprising because when you look at City's got world-class player in KDB and Haaland. Liverpool have Salah, game changer. Arsenal don't have that, so they're relying on their team.
Yeah.
So when the attack is blunt, because I think the top goal scorer in the Premier is it Salah with 14? Haaland. Joint 14.
Yeah.
Arsenal's front three have only scored 12.
It's an issue.
You know.
That's what I'm saying. So why would you say to me that it's reactionary?
No. When I say it's reactionary, I'm saying only 2 weeks ago Arsenal were first.
Yeah.
3 games later, Arsenal are fourth. And the reason why I keep on going back to Jerry in terms of talking about Liverpool is I'm trying to say there's some of the things that you're saying about Arsenal is similar to what Liverpool fans said about their team, which is we're not playing well. Arsenal weren't really playing well, they're also getting the results. Man City are not playing well, but they're getting the results. And that's where everyone's are. So everyone's going to drop points. But obviously the only difference between those 3 teams, as I mentioned, is they've got game changers. Arsenal don't have that. So that's why Arsenal always have to outperform themselves. If not...
But I don't think it's just the game changers. I think we talked about it before the pod. They're not changing the way that they approach the game if it's not going according to plan. They just continue doing the same thing.
Okay, apart from what... So let's say... So And again, John asked a question about how you see your second team or your second players. And I think I know the point where he was getting at, which is Arsenal have a starting 11, then everyone else is like just backup. Diaz comes on, he's not a backup, he's like an alternative to Jota.
Yeah.
Arsenal don't have that.
Well, Trossard is that for Martinelli, I guess, and
Martinelli,
Havertz.
he would always play.
Maybe, but at the same time,
But in terms of quality,
In terms of quality, I like Trossard a lot.
yeah.
Trossard is a good player.
Yeah.
He is a good player.
But personally, I think he's a better quality player than Martinelli.
but
Yes.
they
I see where De La Strada's going.
But
though.
in terms of quality and like ability,
yeah, depends. If you want to stretch the team, you play Martinelli. If you want it's a bit more tight, you play Trossard.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because there's bias from me in obviously being an Arsenal fan. But I look at Reece Nelson, for instance. Yeah, he looks good against PSV. That's fair, I think. When we drew 1-1,
Yeah.
I think he looks. And when he's played, at times he's looked encouraging at times, but he doesn't get enough opportunity to show what he's made of. But no, I'm gonna get there. I'm not gonna say he could be that dude. If I asked you all, like, if Reece Nelson was for sale, how much would you expect to sell that guy?
30 mil.
I'll say 40 for English because he's an English player and he's under contract.
All right, see, that's funny that you guys say that because I was there as well, but then I was speaking to some gooners who had a complete different valuation, and just by John Boy's reaction, I believe he's probably along the same
17.
kind of.
How much did Anthony Gordon go for?
40.
Wasn't it 50?
40 or 50, I
I
think.
think it's like 50.
So
yeah.
what, you say Reece Nelson ain't Gordon are level?
No, I said 30.
No, I'm not saying no. Okay, and this is what he comes down to. There may not be levels, but
They're close, bro.
Reece Nelson has more game time than Gordon, and he's
Doesn't get as much, you mean?
no over. He's been around longer than Gordon, right?
No,
Nah,
but
he
remember,
hasn't played,
Reece
bro.
Nelson was at Everton. Gordon was at Everton where he was playing week in, week out. Reece
No,
Nelson's
but
never
in
had-
the Prem.
whether he's playing week in week out, that was only for one season.
No, it's like 1.5.
Reece Nelson's been about since Wenger.
No, but the thing is 1.5 though. And so Reece Nelson's never had a lockdown position. Whereas Anthony Gordon,
No,
I think he
I'm not
probably has
disputing
more
that,
matches
but
in the Prem.
Yes.
for the going rate, I think he's going for at least 30 to 40. What do you think he's going for less?
No, I think he's going under 30.
Bro, I would say less than
mil.
30.
How
Less
much?
than 30.
How much you saying, John Boy?
Bro, if we got 20 million
Under contract as well.
For
Did you say 20?
If we got 20 million for Reece Nelson, I'd be surprised. And that's basically. I think if he was at another club,
I said 17.5.
yeah. If he was at another club, maybe more.
Yeah.
At Arsenal, because of the fact that we're a trash selling club, and he's not playing, we've not given him a chance to put himself in the shop window.
Yeah.
I can't see how he goes for more than 20 mil.
So now, funny enough, so Don Ray, he was brought up in the last podcast. He said that 15 mil, he expects to get 15 mil plus 5 mil add-ons. I was mortified. 30 mil minimum for me because you don't.
That's what you think or what you
If
hope.
he was at Liverpool, I think he could get 30 mil.
I know, that's-
but because of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
points that he made.
And
I kind of agree with him.
I'm not even disagreeing with the points that John Boy made, but then for me, it doesn't make sense because you've paid this man 100k a week to protect his value. You wanted to protect the value of 15 mil, bruv.
Yeah.
Get out of here, bruv.
But that's,
30
the
mil
same,
off-
that's what it's going to be, though.
But if that's what it's going to be, yeah.
He doesn't play.
Yeah, listen,
that's true.
Playing 5 minutes at the end of a game,
And let me ask you
like
now,
once a week.
Let
And
me
then the
ask you
team
this.
will have to save money on the transfers fee to pay his wages.
Potentially. So Eddie Nketiah, the whole table doesn't even have to be Arsenal fans. You know,
different.
How much do you think he goes for?
40.
Yeah, he's
nothing
like
less than 40, 45. Yeah.
See, I'm saying 40 minimum. Again, there's some Arsenal fans that were like, they'd be
35,
lucky if we
30.
got 25. Someone said 18 to 21.
Do you know what? Even though he doesn't get as much game time,
He's proven himself.
when he plays games, there's always the thought in your back of your mind that this guy can score past you.
Yeah. And I think he's done his job enough
Yeah.
to say he can put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think Reece has done enough to say, can he beat his man?
Or not
can he
even-
cross?
yeah, can he do his
Can
job?
he do his job?
See, I think I'm with you. I think Nketiah's proven that he can do that. I think he would. I think personally, I think he gets into the United team as is. I don't know what you think, Dre, man. And I think that
We need a
would-
striker.
I think he could play for some lower level Prem teams as well. Like
100%.
So I
Palace
think
is my number one for him.
Yes, I think he can go for like 40 mil. But what I'm trying to say is our players don't seem to be able to command a big fee like when you talk to other like fans or what have you not. And these are the players that we're paying 100k per week plus, and we're relying on them to win the league. So after a while, like once you strip the emotion out of it, sometimes your logic comes into play and you're like, okay, like, are we just massively overachieving at the moment? Or do I go back to my original stance where I was a little bit skeptical with man like Mikel Arteta, and I wondered, are you going to get us across that line? Because you had the opportunity to deal with this stuff. You had the opportunity.
But when you say he had okay, fair enough. The Havertz signing is up in the air. Everyone, I think 60 million.
65.
Thank you.
Yeah, but from what he acquisition this season, this year, what else could he have done to have improved that attacking line? Okay, maybe you will say he should have got Kudus instead of Havertz.
But potentially, you know what it is? It's like I'm of the school where, you know, I know people sometimes get onto me that, oh, Granit Xhaka only had 1.5 season, blah blah blah. But whatever we think of Granit Xhaka, he came good. And he was very integral and a key component in the way that we played. I don't believe we replaced him.
Have you seen his
No,
stats?
we haven't.
Have you seen his stats at Leverkusen?
No, I haven't, but I guarantee they're probably favourable.
Undefeated.
See? They're
But that's not a stat.
That's not a start.
No, bro, he's
it's
played like
contributed towards
23
it.
odd games and undefeated.
Bundesliga.
But so my thing is, we
Still though, bro.
haven't fully replaced him yet,
No.
and I say that having just mentioned that Kai Havertz brings some qualities that we aren't fully exploiting ourselves, but we haven't really replaced.
But do you think
Xhaka.
Arteta wanted to replace him? Because I think
but this
Arteta
is-
was thinking, I want to play something else. So why would he be looking to replace somebody?
But then,
who-
bro, this is why I'm saying, do I go back to my original stance where I start questioning Mikel? Because you've got a formula that's mad fluid, it's working, and everyone's even competing with my take that we need a striker because we scored so many goals. Yeah, so you don't keep that midfield and add to it. You take away from it, but bring in a different kind of profile. So now in January, there's talks amongst the club and all the pundits that we might need to get another midfielder. We might need to get a defender still, meaning we haven't addressed the key areas
but
that we needed
I
to
think
address in the beginning.
That's a bit unfair because obviously there's obviously injuries are part of the game. But if you didn't take out, if you don't have these injuries, defensively he tried to address it with Timber. If Timber was fit, there's games where he'll be playing. And in midfield, let's not forget that Arsenal don't have Partey. And I think I said at the beginning of the season, whereby, okay, you got Havertz, but if Havertz ain't working, you can play Partey as a 6 and play Rice, or play them as a double pivot. And that gives Arsenal a better structure in the centre.
Yeah.
But because you have all these injuries, of course it's not what he
I
planned.
hear you, Della,
It's
but
a bit all over the place.
He knew Partey he's got injury problems, so we knew we needed 2 midfielders.
No, but sorry, just to piggyback off what you're saying, Timber is a DM, CB, and apparently fullback as well.
Yeah.
So I think with the Partey, he thought he'd be adequately covered in case there's going to be injury. You got Rice and somebody who else can play.
Even with Timber, we got Timber. I was happy with that. Remember, I remember like as we were getting into this beginning of the season, I was so happy with our team. I was offering out big money bets everywhere because of the way our team was looking stacked. All of a sudden, Tierney's gone. Bruv, this guy's he's performing decently for Real Sociedad, you know.
He's been injured for half of the loan.
He does that.
No,
But he's looking at...
he's been injured.
I hear you. That is an issue that he has. But at the end of the day, we're looking at maybe recalling him. And if you look at his performances, he's putting in decent performances.
No, but when you say performance, he's been injured for a while.
I know. I remember that. And I know that's probably why we had to get rid of him.
On his loan, he's been injured.
No, I know that.
Okay.
But I also know when he's played, he's contributing
But
at
Dan
a
needs to
decent
be
level.
available, bro. Nothing.
Yeah.
That's true.
Get rid of anyone that's not available.
My bro.
Like Reece Nelson, Partey. I think them man end of the season, they're done because you're not available. And he plays that.
I'll be honest with you. I think any
I
other team looking at the subs that you make, that I don't think they're fearing those subs coming on
our
at all.
subs aren't needle movers, and although these men are constantly injured and what have you not, that's why I'm saying with the additions and still having these quality players that are never available, it was good to have, because now when we've got our look, Zinni's injured at the moment. I don't know if it's a real injury or not, but he's injured. Yeah. We looks like we're gonna have to play Kirio against Liverpool as a left back.
Done.
We ain't got no other. We ain't got no
It's the
other
right
option.
thing he's not going to be there.
But who?
No, I'm joking. Mo Salah ain't going to be there.
But what are you saying about Zinni
Tierney
though?
would have been available.
But my point.
He would have been available. But he's
Maybe.
available now.
No, because who knows how his
Exactly.
injury would have
You
been.
can't look at that.
That's his point,
And the thing is, you can't, like, when you're, and obviously you've run a business, bro. You cannot have staff off sick 50% of the time and say, I'm still going to pay you, no matter what, just in case one day you are available and this guy's not available, you can play.
No, I think legally
it's not going to work like that, bro.
You do have to legally.
up to a certain point. Up to a certain point.
In your head, obviously, you can't do it, bro. So you think, I'm going to go.
I'm presenting these arguments, and maybe I'm being harsh, maybe I'm not. But I've even looked at the other side when I've looked at the guys that Arteta's brought in, Joe John Boy, and he's still not even using them guys. So you're not to Havertz, for instance. I use that. He's not using Havertz. Like, you brought this dude in, and you've not using him.
I got a point. I got a point. I think what Della said was probably true. In my personal opinion, I think the team that everyone wants to see is Partey and Rice play together, and admit totally Havertz from the team. He can come on as a striker, as maybe Mikel intended at the time when he probably bought him. What has happened is obviously Partey's injured, Timber's injured, there are lots of injuries, and the team just had to adapt to that, but he hasn't adapted that well. So at the moment, you've replaced Granit Xhaka, who did have a great season last year, essentially with Havertz, and I think that was
the plan.
It can't have been.
I think
it can't have been, bro.
I think it was.
It can't have been.
No, but I just said the same thing. Obviously, Xhaka wanted to leave.
He wanted to leave.
Yeah. So what he did, he brought in a Havertz, he's a completely different profile to Xhaka. But when you've got the team, the composition all right, as I said before, Zinchenko comes into midfield, Havertz does the last man run into the box, Jesus drops deep.
Yep.
It all works. If it's not working, we want it against Man City twice. He's played Declan Rice and Partey. Obviously, I think it started with Jorginho, but then Partey came on in the league game. I think when he plays against the big teams, I think that's what he's set up for the being, whereby we got a double pivot. Tomiyasu's playing left back, or Timber's playing left back against the big teams. Against the smaller teams, Havertz running behind. But so replacing Xhaka wasn't light for light, but it's a different profile, and he's got two players to do two different jobs in Rice and potentially Havertz.
So my criticism so far is, because I've taken on board what you said and buying what you said, I think we both agreed that he could also go up top. And even when you're playing against the smaller teams, if they pack out that midfield and we can't get through, maybe that over the top ball or the crosses might be a function. I've not seen Arteta utilise that as many times as I would expect for someone who's bought a man called Havertz for 60 mil. But then you've done that purchase, and then you've also let go of a couple of men that, in my opinion, you probably could have kept.
Holding and
no, fuck Holding. I'm talking about. I know Xhaka wanted to go, but whatever speech he gave Xhaka the first season to stay, I would have gave him that same speech again. So I need you one more season, brother, in the Champions League, and Tierney, I would have kept him. I would have kept. I'm telling you.
Sorry, just a quick one. You were saying that Man City, Liverpool got like talisman
game
players.
changers, yeah.
Don't you think Saka and Odegaard are game changers?
No, okay, they are, but
they should be.
They are on a different scale. You know, Saka is not in the same league as Salah, and he's not in the same league as
last
Haaland.
season. He was though. I'm not saying he was, but Arsenal fans thought that he was.
Not this.
No, and Arsenal fans said that. Remember, you were saying we'll beat Real Madrid easy.
Over two legs.
And then did this to the we have him.
But that's not.
Yeah. But now you're saying you don't have world class.
No. What is it? What is it, man?
Conversation. We probably still could. And Saka is a good player, but I've gone on record and said
he's better than a good player.
I don't know that
he's better than a good player.
Yeah, but he's not Salah level. He's not KDB.
No, I think he can be that level.
He will get there.
No, not that.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
I don't think Saka. I personally think, and I'm a Mikel fan, but I think Mikel ball right now is stifling Saka. Therefore, he's not going to look anywhere near Salah now. I think if we had been doing Arsenal, that is what we did last season, this season, he'd have been thriving. Yeah, again.
Okay,
yeah.
Please, and qualify the point I'm making.
This discussion of Saka is not a game changer.
Saka's only 22 as well. He's only 22.
Come on.
He never said
Haaland's 22.
No, let me qualify what I'm saying. Saka is a game changer, but he's not on the same level as Haaland.
Not yet.
KDB or Salah. That's
I'm
what I'm saying.
To be honest, I'm not even sure about Haaland, to be honest.
Last season he was and he was a clutch player for Arsenal. And Odegaard was a clutch player because they were saying he'll walk into the Real Madrid team. There was loads of things with
but again, the point still stands. Salah is not Saka. I mean, Saka is not Salah.
The bar for Salah is like
you're preaching to the
ridiculous, bro.
Yeah.
But the age difference is mad as well.
He's still a game changer.
I'm saying a Saka at 26 will probably look more like a Salah.
That's not guaranteed. If, according to Jonathan, if Mikel continues to stifle him, because that's what's happening now. Last season, everybody was expecting Salah to be doing better than he was doing last season, because that's the expectation for Martinelli.
You mean Saka? I forgot you baffled me. You said Salah.
Sorry, that was the expectation for Martinelli.
But Saka's not even doing that bad.
No, he's not. He's not. Exactly.
But I'm just saying, but you lot don't feel the same, or not you guys personally, but the Arsenal fans are not feeling the same way about Saka they did last season. They're not feeling the same about Martinelli as they did last season. They're not feeling the same about Odegaard as they did last season.
You know what it is, and this is not
2 points off the top. Or
they're not giving us the numbers that they've given us last season.
No, because Della, I hear you, yeah. And I do hear you in terms of we haven't got game changers like that. I think
you have.
We haven't got game changers in isolation. Is that maybe because I feel like
that's what I mean. I don't mean Saka's not a game changer. I said it's on a different scale.
What do you mean? I agree with that point. I've always agreed with that point, but I'm just saying it's different to what Arsenal fans were saying last season.
No, because
I'm not Arsenal fan. I'm just a football fan.
Of course, come on.
Why I say not in isolation is sometimes, if Saka can give us that moment, but he's too young and it's too much of a burden to expect him to take the game or by the scruff of the neck and literally win the game for us. But he's trying his bloody hardest. He's got 9 goals this season, bro. 3 in the Champions League, 6 in the Prem. He's got about, I can't remember how many assists he's got in the Prem. 6 in the Prem. That's decent.
And this time last season, he only had 7, so he's on track.
And he's got like 3 assists in the 3 or 2 assists in the Champions League as well. And if we're counting the Community Shield, he got the assist for that as well.
We never do.
All right, whatever, man. But all I'm saying is Saka is doing what Saka does. Reason why it looks like he's not doing so much is
I think you guys are underperforming.
Everyone else is not
the other guys around
the attackers.
Him. But then where Della's now saying we ain't got any game changers because even with Saka,
please,
sorry, not
for everyone says.
No, we have got game changers, but we haven't got game changers in the way that City and Liverpool have game changers.
Because you got Saliba, who's better than Van Dijk.
That's not a game changer, bro. Stop saying stuff.
Wait, how can a world-class centre back be a game changer?
God, Joe, you know what we mean.
Hey, stop it, man. Hey, stop it, guys.
Wait.
Stop it. Trying to do, but it's not even gonna
No, wait. Because you lot are making me look crazy, bro. I'm saying I think VVD is a game changer.
But we're talking attacking game changers. Let's define it. We're talking about attacking game changers.
Okay, well then now you've ruled me out completely. But you don't make me look like I was crazy. And I'm talking sense. VVD is a game changer. Saliba is a game changer.
Yeah. But I think it's a compliment to your team. Like he's saying that we haven't got game changers to the level that Liverpool and City do, and he's potentially right.
No, that's always been the case. But I'm saying so what are you arguing about? Last season you were chatting shit.
What do you mean last season we were chatting shit? But we were leading the league for 93% of the season. We were talking.
This guy said, "I've got Timber. I will take whatever money you've got from you because our team's going to win the league."
You should have taken it.
Now you're saying you ain't got game changers.
You should have taken it. Shut up. Where is Timber?
Shut up.
Where is Timber?
Hey.
Where is childish?
We've got an audio podcast. People listen.
Yeah, fair enough. The guy's crazy, because how's that childish?
Why would you take somebody's money and bet? Sorry, so why would you take somebody's bet and money if you don't think you got game changers? What's happening here?
No. Okay, I've qualified this so many times.
No, not you. No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about this guy. How can you walk into the season saying we're going to win? Saying we're going to win the league, and you can say all of these things. Now that you're fourth, only 5 points, you're fourth. You're saying we don't have game changers. Listen, or not to the level where we can win the league. What are you talking about?
First of all,
you're saying Man City have game changers to win the league. You thought you were going to beat Man City to the league. All of a sudden, your game changers ain't good enough to win the league. But Man City's are, Liverpool's are. What's going on there, bro?
No, wait a second.
What's going on there?
First of all, I never said we haven't got game changers to win the league. I never said that. I said we haven't got the game changers. As I can understand Della's point where he says we haven't got the game changers to the same level as Liverpool and Man City. Namely, Salah, Mohamed Salah,
and Haaland,
and even KDB. But our game changers that we have work together. We need that fluidity together. So you got your Saka, you got your Odegaard, you got your Martinelli, and then.
Joey's pulling out their face.
No, hold to the second.
But when they
I need to block my nose with my top lip because I'm smelling shit, bro.
Hold on. Hold on. He's got. I understand what he's saying.
What is shit about that?
But he's saying.
That's not worth the £600 he put on the table.
Then you should have taken it.
I know, but I didn't believe we were going to win the league either.
You're not going to win the league, bro.
I didn't believe it. I still don't believe it.
You're still not going to win
But
the
you
league.
said £600 to you win the league.
That's true.
And so now you're singing a different tune.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying.
I'll probably owe people some cash out.
But Strives. I was just going to say, bro, you know you keep talking about all these game changers and your midfield or whatever, but bro, it's your manager. Like, because your manager has seen the game, he's seen what you're doing, and he's not even, the players that have come on, he's not even told them to change the game. So in terms of, you guys are still trying to pass the ball in the net, and you're in your 85th minute, 89th minute, 90th minute.
This is what I said. This is what I said.
Say it, bro.
Hey,
say
listen,
it with your chest.
This is what I said. I said, when you get to the 75th minute, beyond the 75th minute, bruv, you got to change something.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
You can't do this tiki-taka in the box.
Tiki-taka. We're dribbling around.
Get the ball in the box.
Move it.
Exactly.
I've given.
That's how you move a low block. You shift the ball quick.
I've given
crosses.
Hold on, wait a second.
Yeah.
Wait, what are we doing?
And you know what? I don't even think. Jay, man, you said this. You said this to Mikel. Yeah. I don't know. Like, based on, because I said last week, Odegaard was holding on to the ball too long. I don't know. Hold on.
I'm here side by side.
I don't know if that's a Mikel instruction. Hold the ball for long until. I think that's just another.
But bro,
thing.
he's your captain, so he should be going, right, guys. We might have to just change it up a little bit.
A little bit.
What we're trying.
Wait.
I disagree with that. That's too much responsibility for.
Not really, bro. But you should get it from the manager.
We're getting off a bit off tangent. So
what were you talking about?
Let's wrap this up on Arsenal segment. The two Arsenal guys. What's your last words on Arsenal? Okay, let me give you some good news. Partey's not going to Abscond, so let's start.
He's
with
not going to Abscond.
No,
how do you know?
He's a traitor to his country.
He's ruled himself out of Abscond.
No, I think they released the squad and his name wasn't in it. And Chris Houghton, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's come out and said something along the lines of the injury was like the worst that he's had. And in terms of his injury recovery timeline, it doesn't suit their timeline or something like that.
Okay, cool. Listen, if Partey's available.
Not straight away, but
no, obviously not straight away. But if he becomes available towards the end of the season and can gain some
end of the
form,
season,
towards the second part of the season,
okay,
and he can gain some form, play with Rice. Hopefully that allows Mikel the chance to change the game a bit more in the advanced positions.
Yeah,
so we're a bit less. What's the word I'm looking for?
Stifled,
systematic,
rigid,
predictable.
Yeah.
Hopefully it gives him the stability to do that, because I think that's what he wanted initially, is to be less
flexible. Yeah,
not flexible. I think he wanted to be
harder to beat,
which has made us predictable. Hopefully, with those players, gives him a bit more confidence to be a bit more fluid.
Your last word?
Yeah. You mentioned the 7xG from Anfield. With Arsenal's, it was like -1 when we played Liverpool. So I think that's credit to Arsenal. So even when we're not playing the greatest, I think it speaks volumes that we were able to contain versus to contain a powerful Liverpool at Anfield.
You got game changers at the back, bro.
Yeah, so I'm still hopeful that just because I'm not as confident, I'm still hopeful that we can win the league. In order to do so, I just think we need to be a little bit less easy to figure out. So I think Arteta should trust this process that he's been talking about.
Yeah.
Drayman is now accusing the manager, whatnot. I'm not there because I'm giving him grace to the end of the season, but we all know where I'm going to be if it doesn't end the way it needs to end. I'm trusting you, Arteta. If you've brought in these players, use your players and trust their versatility, change the way we play, make us less predictable, like you said, John Boy. And I think we can go and do this, bro. Like, we've still got 18 games to play. Martinelli will fix up, hopefully. Jesus needs to find his thing, and Saka just needs to continue doing what he's doing. Odegaard, just keep doing you. Odegaard's playing great. I don't know what John Boy and Joey Nomadic's talking about.
Let's not get into it. We're not going to get to it.
But no, he's doing his thing, bruv. He has to play that because Havertz plays side to side. Declan Rice does progressive passes, but not in a way Partey does. Exactly. So Odegaard's going to have to look for... He has to do a little bit more to produce the magic. That's what we asked of him. So just keep it up, my guys.
Okay. And this is coming from... I'm not an Arsenal fan. That's a football fan.
We don't need to hear it.
No. Let's move on.
What I want to say, obviously, when I was talking about Jesus and Alvarez, John Boy said that it's more of a recency bias as to why I was saying Alvarez. But let me just remind you that before these last two games where Arsenal played West Ham and lost, and Fulham and lost, Before that, they played Liverpool, and that's right. So they gave them an XG of what,
-1 or something. Yeah.
And that's Liverpool at home. That's hard to do. And then before that, they played Brighton, and they played them off the park. And even the manager said this is the best that they've played. So sometimes things don't go according to plan, but you can still see there's things there which are working in the right place. It was 2 games that came back to back. Hopefully, this is Arsenal get this thing out of their system quick enough, and the break that they're going to have gives them something. Partey comes back, but I have you both right that Arteta needs to utilise his squad a bit more. But it's very hard when you look on your bench and, you may have a Diaz for Liverpool when you're seeing Reece Nelson.
But he extended him.
He chose it, that's the thing.
I know. But yeah.
That's the manager.
Let's move on.
The one thing I'll say, is what we're asking in terms of the league, we're asking Arsenal to do stuff that they've never done before, which is go pretty much unbeaten until the end of the season.
It's crazy.
I just don't see it.
But this league is different. Like this 3-point lead that 5 points. But even if City had played their game in hand and won, let's say they won, and it was a 3-point advantage, that's probably the biggest point gap all season. Like no one has been as far ahead in the lead this season than Liverpool are at the moment, and it's only 5 points. That's how tight this league is.
Are we?
5 points clear of
5 points clear of Arsenal.
Yeah, only 2 points of
so it's still close. It's not a gap.
Hold on,
Villa.
We're
only 2 points clear, 3 points or 2 points clear of Villa.
Oh, I forgot about Villa. But even still, that 3-point gap, no one's been 3 points clear.
That's what I'm saying.
No one actually has been 3 points clear.
Is that the biggest gap?
Yeah, that's the biggest gap. So this is a crazy season. So I expect there to be many more swings and roundabouts.
I do as well.
I'm not expecting Arsenal to go on some crazy run. It's impossible.
Yeah. There will be swings and roundabouts, but I don't think Arsenal are going to go back top. That's I don't think they're going to go back top the rest of the season.
But let's wrap it up there. Let's move on to the next game, which is Nottingham Forest versus Palace. So when I was preparing for myself for the pod,
who Nottingham Forest versus United?
United, yeah. So when I was preparing for the pod, and I'm trying to come from it from a different angle, whereby we don't have to talk about the manager all the time. We don't talk about the same things every time. And I did find it hard.
It's very hard.
But obviously, Nottingham Forest coming off the back of a win against Newcastle.
Yeah.
They hosted you guys, and this is the first time they've beaten you.
Yeah, I know, it's mad.
Since 1993. And then I was thinking, obviously, this is another unwanted record
that he's broken
for Ten Hag. So, considering how you performed against Villa and come back to win, were you surprised that United reverted back to, and I'm going to try and choose my words very carefully, they just reverted back to just being trash?
What?
No, trust me, he tried his hardest.
I tried. The words were coming.
That just epitomizes our season, though. Like, we've been inconsistent all season. Nottingham Forest game, we did absolutely nothing, bar the goal that they actually gave us, because that's how I saw it. They gave us the goal, and I was happy for Rashford get his morale up. But other than that, we didn't do nothing the whole game. Garnacho tried to was running into no man's land. Anthony, useless. We're relying on Eriksen to play with Maino. It's a lot for Eriksen. And when ETH took off Maino.
That's what I was going to ask you. So did he come off at half time?
Yeah, it was just after. So I remember.
What was your midfield? It was Eriksen, Maino,
and then it was Bruno. Yeah, Bruno, and then Garnacho, and then
sorry, McTominay came on.
Yeah, for Maino.
So what was your thoughts on that substitution? Because it wasn't an injury. So
that was a mad substitution, because as soon as he did that sub, we lost the control in the mid, because Maino was getting back, doing the interceptions, tidying up. As soon as he brings on Scott.
He wasn't playing badly?
No, not at all.
He was doing his job.
He was doing his job.
When you're doing that job, it's probably people. You would hope a manager sees what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't respect those.
No, but you're the manager. You put someone in that position, and they're doing it. Maybe
they don't, bro.
And then you brought on McTominay, and the 2 goals that you conceded were 2 goals that were very similar, like basically
exactly.
cut back.
Yeah, cut back.
So, but if you had a Maino or a defensive-minded player in that position, you'd have done better.
And I don't even know why he brought on Scott. Was he thinking that maybe he will score?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
I think that's what it was. They wanted to have a bit more presence. Goal scorer,
isn't it?
Yeah, something.
But what was the game state at halftime? As in, were you not controlling the game?
No, we wasn't. We wasn't doing anything in that game at all. Like, in terms of, we were trying, but nothing was coming off. It was like, come on, guys, do something a bit better. But Anthony.
But what do you think he was trying when he made that substitution? What do you think he wanted out of the game?
Like Joey said, he probably thought, if anyone's going to grab a goal, it might be Scott. But then in that position, how was he going to grab a goal? Because it was like
was he playing as a DM or more attacking?
No, I think more just like half and half.
Yeah, but then that's what I'm saying. But then you're relying on like Eriksen to like tidy up, bruv. Like it didn't make sense what he was doing. When we're playing Eriksen for 90 minutes as well, it's always going to be a problem because...
But you know what? Like, sorry to cut you.
Yeah, that's right.
It's 0-0 at half time. Why would you make that call?
I know.
Half time. If Maine's doing what is expected of him at that time?
Unless he said he's got an injury or something like that, I don't know.
No, I don't think he paid enough respect to Nottingham Forest because even though Man United had the ball a lot more, the decision making with the ball was terrible.
Yeah, it was horrible,
Nottingham
man.
Forest were very good on the ball. They were popping the ball around and I can't remember.
There was no stage in that game where Nottingham Forest weren't in control. That was basically how I saw it.
United had the ball, but it was contained.
Exactly.
It was contained by Nottingham Forest,
it was, to be honest, ETH, I don't know. Yeah. We have to ask him what he was trying to do there.
Speaking of that halftime substitution, I think that was similar to your game against City. I think he was either losing 1-0, then he took off Amrabat and he brought on. Was it McTominay again or did he brought on someone else?
It might have been. I can't even remember.
Yeah. As I said, I didn't want it to be a focus on ETH, but it's very difficult not to talk about him.
But the thing is, he's going to be in a spotlight now because he's playing like people like Anthony and he's doing these crazy subs. So I don't know. Like
you mentioned the player, Diallo.
Yeah,
he came on. At what point in the game did he come on?
Probably after 70th minute.
Yeah, something like that.
And how was his performance?
He did well.
Yeah?
Yeah. He was basically trying to do something that we weren't doing all game, which was trying to penetrate.
Pause.
And exactly. Pause, but penetrate the lines. But yeah, in terms of like, you can't be relying on him. Like, do you know what I mean? It's a lot of reliance on the kids to try and get you the results.
Sometimes, as Ranić said, Elanga just had that the work ethic that he wanted the rest of the team to have. So if you've got Maino who's doing it, you've got Ahmad who's going to do it over Anthony. Sometimes you got to start them.
Yeah,
I agree.
And Scott McTominay, with all due respect, he has that work ethic.
But there has to be a balance. Yeah,
but I think you took off somebody with work ethic to bring somebody on with work ethic. Maybe Eriksen. I don't know if that's your creativity or not. But another thing as well, like I don't think he showed enough respect to Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest should have beaten Man United at Old Trafford. I don't know if you guys remember that game.
They got a lucky goal.
Yeah, exactly.
2-0 up or 3-0 up, and then Man United came back. So I don't think enough respect was shown to Nottingham Forest, and
especially how they've played against the top teams as well. And we all know how they play.
They're playing like that without Awoniyi as well.
Exactly. Big point.
They gave us a bit of a scare as well.
Same Liverpool last season.
At the moment, United, it is what it is. One game good, one game bad.
Yeah.
I was more pleased probably with the Aston Villa result because it showed that actually we can come back when we want to play football. We can actually come back, but we were playing better in that game. So even though we went down 2 goals, it was weird. It was like, okay, but we're doing well. Like if we had lost that game, I would have been like, guys, you know what? They had 2 set pieces kind of thing, and they scored. What can we do? But obviously we came back to win that game, so it was better for us. But again, Nottingham Forest, we did nothing. We did nothing that whole game. And then 10 at the end of the game saying, we've got injuries. But come on, bro. Everyone has injuries. Like, you need to adapt. This is the Prem.
And then what's your thoughts on, I think, in terms of your transfers, Reguilon's going back to Spurs. You've renewed...
going back. Or is that just because it's a loan?
Yeah, it was a loan.
Yeah, it was a loan. Yeah, we've cut it now.
It's done?
Yeah, it's done. He's gone back to Spurs.
Yeah, and you've renewed Lindelof's contract, but you've not renewed Varane.
Yeah, because I think they want to lower his wages.
Okay.
Yes, I think it's to do with the wage bill.
300k.
340, I think.
I think I remember. Della, I remember you being of a similar opinion to me that Varane wasn't the answer for Man United.
Yeah, it was never the answer.
Yeah,
it was never the answer. And even there was fickle fans that said, who was the better signing, Varane or Ben White? Guys, you're building for the future.
Exactly.
Varane was a
stopgap
that you didn't even need,
and
even Casemiro as well. Stopgap.
Yeah, I think that's probably a signing from a change from Radcliffe.
Yeah.
So let's just
and then adding the money as well.
To be honest, and United financial fair play, we need to offload players.
You reckon?
Yeah, we need to. We can't buy players, so.
But how does it, if you're letting him go on a free and you signed him from a fee, how does that work in financial fair play? Does that?
I think they
He's
take
your wage book, isn't it?
Just the
yeah,
wages
but
off the balance
they take that into account. So I think Everton had something similar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they do take those things into account. But again, we need to give offload. And Man United being Man United, we're not going to offload these players for a decent amount of money.
I'm hearing Sancho to Dortmund.
Yeah, good luck to him. I think he should go.
What about all the other guys that are earning big money?
Rashford.
But he scored the other day, man. He's back, man.
Well, I'm not sure about that, bro. He's trying, but I don't know, something like when they focus on ETH, sometimes I feel like he doesn't know what to do.
ETH.
Yeah, he's kind of lost.
So would you be happy for him to
Get sacked.
or to remain for the end of the season?
I think we have to keep him to the end of the season now because there's no one that will come in. And then if we get rid of ETH, who's going to like step in? Do you know what I mean? I've got no faith in even the people behind ETH who like number 2, the Steve McLarens, like we're going backwards.
I feel like you lot are going in the right direction with Ratcliffe, bro. From what I've heard, just in terms of like Varane not being continued. And then what was the other thing I heard? I heard something about
Greenwood that he wants to bring back.
Yeah, that he said I'm bringing back.
Did he actually say that? Because that quote looked crazy.
I heard it was a lie, but
That quote did seem mad.
but let's say, for example, I think it's true, but I think he didn't say that.
Yeah.
I think he's probably said it off the record to somebody. And
then someone just created
But it makes sense. We need to bring back our best players. Simple.
He is legit your best player.
Mate, come on. If we compare him to Anthony, come on.
You can't. I don't know if you guys can survive the backlash yet. I don't know if enough time has passed.
What's the worst case scenario on the backlash? I don't.
I mean, why did they let him go in the
the
first
share
place?
price goes down a bit,
Probably, or
it's because the females were
all the
causing revolt.
stakeholders that have got, that were wading in.
At the end of the day,
they're still the richest club, bro. Even if the stakeholders, what they're going to pull out their money.
At the end of the day,
not even a shareholder. I mean, like stakeholders, like your
the women's support group.
Yeah, all of your fans, your audience.
At the end of the day,
people that's connected.
Bring back your best players. If they don't want to, if they want to bounce. Like we're trying to do something here. These fans or whoever's part of the female team.
It's crazy because there's a massive taboo to obviously the allegations that were laid on him. Obviously, he wasn't. I don't think he wasn't charged, or he was dropped. No, he was charged, but he was dropped.
He's married and expecting a baby.
Let's not get too hung up about this.
But obviously it's been dropped. But I just think if they bring him back, I just wonder if they are prepared to deal with all of that. So I think it's rumours.
I think it would be difficult to bring him back. In my opinion, you're trying to get a new slate, and you're going to go back to old things that were.
Barcelona won him anyway. Barcelona are looking.
Yeah, they want to give him number 10 or something.
I think my point was that I feel like
he should carry on in that trajectory, man. He'll get forgiven eventually, man. But don't come back yet.
I feel like my point is that I think with Ratcliffe, you might be heading in the right direction, but a very much better.
But then it's
direction.
a suave move by the Glazers because they're still part of Man United, and then they've washed their hands. And
the Glazers aren't your problem. They're not your problem. They've been injecting money into the club. The problem is that there was nobody to spend that money.
Well, I think that's right. Like for instance.
Right, let's not get too hung up about, because what I'm trying to do not speak about too many things we've been speaking about in the past. Before we move on from anything else you want to say?
Just take it one game at a time, and
what's your hope for the season? Top 4, top 6?
It's got to be top 8, man.
I would say top 6.
Top 6.
Yeah.
You want Europe?
Well, not Europa.
Conference.
You didn't want
I'd just say
Europa.
just to get as high as possible, but I think top 6, man. Because if you drop out any further than like 6th, then who are you even going to bring in?
We can't want Europa. You didn't want Europa.
No, I didn't want Europa. I'm saying in terms of just standing in the league.
Hang on. You can change, but he can't.
Okay, let's not do this. Last game. Last game is the Spurs 3-1. So let's just quickly round it off. So obviously, that win against Bournemouth put Spurs 5th and only 1 point behind Arsenal. So overall, I think it's obviously a good first half season for Ange. But then they've got Son going over to the Asia Cup, Basuma going up to Afcon, and Sar going up to Afcon.
Sar got injured in that last game?
Apparently, he'll be fit for Afcon.
Oh, okay. So they're going to take him anyway?
Yeah.
Pissed.
So Son potentially will miss if they go all the way. He misses the game against Burnley, FA Cup, Man United and Brentford. So that will be a good omen for United. And again, those same players will be missing for Basuma will be missing those games, and Salah will be missing those games. So,
I mean, Richarlison has discovered the form. So,
but apparently he's not been playing well, just been scoring.
Yeah, that's exactly what
Yeah,
it is.
exactly.
But I think that's the way he's always been for him. To be fair,
Yeah, I think big kudos to Spurs and to Ange for what they've achieved. It's massive pat on the back to just they're still in contention. Like, if I can sit here and still hope that Arsenal can win the league, then somebody that will support Spurs might still have that hope, because they're literally only 1 point behind Arsenal. They're definitely in that top 4 race. They were playing with fullbacks across their back line. They survived somewhat the injury crisis. Like it's all looking up, but I do wonder, can you survive an injury crisis and AFCON and the Asia Cup? I'm not.
And it's your without Maddison as well. You're missing those instrumental players. Which
exactly. I don't know. Like I just can't see it. I can't see them being able to do that. And on top of that, they seem to have a terrible discipline record. So unless that cleans up, they're probably going to have a few suspensions to deal with as well. I think if they can finish in the top 4, that would be a massive achievement for them. I had them outside the top 8 in my original predictions, but I think I've got them in the top 6 now. But I think that's probably what it's going to be. Like I do give credit for what they've done, but I can't see them being able to ride all of that. Yeah, that's for me personally. I can't see them being able to ride all of that. Richarlison, I don't think he's going to be enough to bridge the gap.
No, especially with Son out as well for the next 3 games.
Son is the guy for them, man.
Yeah.
Is 3 games that much though?
No, it's not.
Because I remember
you're saying 3 games at once, but Arsenal went from 1st to 4th in 3 games.
But that's different, because that was like a massive capitulation.
No, but if Spurs don't perform in those 2 games, then they fall further down and other teams go further up.
But
so those 2 games are now.
Teams like AFCON is not a new thing. It always happens, and teams always sometimes seem to ride it out. Like
but in a league that's as tight as this, we've seen Arsenal's dropped 8 points in the last 3 games.
Well, remember, I said there's an example where Liverpool still finished the season 1 point behind Man City, and then there's the other season where they came 3rd behind United. But that's because we weren't particularly good that season.
But
so I don't know if AFCON actually had that bigger an impact, and I think I was saying.
But couple that with all the other factors that Spurs are suffering, as in the injuries and obviously these suspensions they keep on getting because of their poor discipline record, I do think it might be a hill too high to climb. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Let's we can leave it there for today, guys. Yes, as usual, guys, come to the end of the podcast, so let's do our back pages. And for new listeners, this is where we shine light on players, managers, or teams that have done well in this weekend's fixtures of games. So, as the guest, not special, that's a guest. I'll start with you, John Boy.
I want to shout out Elanga this weekend. Went back to his old, playing his old club. Had a bit of a issue with his first. I think he should have crossed it or passed it to
Chris Woods.
Chris Woods, and he opted to shoot. Learned from that mistake. Got an assist. I think did he get a goal as well?
No.
Just the assist. But yeah, I thought that showed great character, and I think his interview after as well.
Yeah.
And he dances on TikTok as well, and his tweet to Rashford, he's putting an exemplary performance this week.
Yeah, and even going back as well, I think Ragnick said that he had a great attitude.
Yeah,
prior to being given to Nottingham Forest. So yeah, shout out
Jerry?
Anthony Elanga.
Mine is Curtis Jones, man. He had a great performance yesterday. I think some Arsenal fans have been talking about how he wants to move down south.
Is that real?
This is what Arsenal fans are talking about. Like,
I've seen that posted a couple of times. I don't know how real it is myself, but
obviously this is somebody who's come through the academy. There's not been that much fanfare around him, and he's just been getting on with business. And bro, yesterday he gave Grimares, Jolien a horrible time. They just didn't know how to pick him up, man. So yeah, it's just hopefully this good form continues for him, especially with AFCON.
Yeah, Strives.
From that game as well, I'm going to give my back pages to Dubravka. I think he had a great game. I know I see Joey shaking his head, but I think he did have a great game. I think to stop that many shots, save the penalty, and be on the receiving end of a 4-goal deficit. I don't know if I've ever seen that as well. Like where a keeper has played so well but conceded 4 goals. So I think he just deserves a little mention just for his part in that game.
Damn, back pages.
Dre?
Back pages.
I'm going to go with Salah, 150 goals in the Prem now. We got to big up him, always performing, always hitting all the stats. Even when he seems to go off the boil for a little bit, this guy will always come back and prove you wrong. So it has to go to Salah.
Good shout, man. Good shout.
Very good.
And my back pages, I'll give it to Phil Foden. I think for a long time, people have been calling for him to, stand out, play, not say come out of the shadow, but just be a bit more instrumental to City. And I think in KDB's absence, he's played left, he played right, he played midfield, centre, or number 10. And he's been doing well. So, yeah, my back pages goes to Phil Foden. Right, guys. Thank you for listening. This is the first episode of the season, of the new year. Again, thank you for listening to us. We'll be back again next week.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Peace.